Hey guys, and welcome back to Finfinity. Today we're building a PYGMY CORY tank. So this is going to be the third breeding tank in this room. Now, as you can see behind me, a lot of more stuff has happened, which is great because the room's going really well. I am going to do a room tour soon, just to update you guys on where we're up to, how's it going and stuff like that. But we've been doing well. I've got CPD eggs, I've got stir-by cory eggs, and a lot of other little exciting things have happened sort of behind the scenes. So without further ado, let's get started on this new tank. First things first, we're going to start with the substrate. I'm going to use a fine white sand. This is so that the fish can sift through it. Cories like to do that, so I want to give them a nice open space to do so. So here I'm going to be arranging my hardscape in a section in the middle of a little island, which is where a lot of my plants will be, and my driftwood. I'm planning on using mostly epiphytes for this build, so a lot of the stuff will be stuck to the driftwood. Now that I'm happy with my driftwood placement, I'm going to start sticking some moss and some other plants to the driftwood. So I'm doing this out of the tank, so it is just easier to get into all those cracks and crevices. I'm gluing a lot of the plants on using an aquarium safe super glue. So I'm just attaching some Java moss here. I have an abundance of it, so I just go ahead and use that in like everything. It's also a really good spawning media, so any fish that egg scatterers, things like that, they're going to like to scatter their eggs in this moss. I've had a lot of success that way. Okay, so starting off with some Java fern. Again, it's a fan favorite really. It's my favorite. I've got so much of it. It's beautiful. It makes these big broad leaves. It can create a very bushy scape. It's hard to kill it too. It's a really easy plant to propagate. It's a really easy plant to grow. It takes a lot of its nutrients from the water column, so if you are looking to feed your tank, liquid fertilizer, perfect. So I've got this big Anubias plant that is just floating in one of my tanks. Now I do that because it creates these pups. I feed the tanks like normal and I just let it float, and every now and again it'll pop out these pups for me. So I'm just taking these pups and I'm gluing them onto the side of this to create more Anubias plants. I'm also spraying down the driftwood just periodically, just because I want to make sure that all the plants stay wet, because obviously if they dry out they'll get black marks and things like that and they'll die. I've stuck some of that down and I've glued onto the wood, I can see where the glue is visible. So what I'm doing now is just sticking some more Java moss over those glued bits. So I'm just going to continue adding plants to this till I'm happy with it, and then we'll stick it back in the tank. Important, I learnt my lesson from the last video. We're going to make sure this is glued to rocks and glued down so it doesn't float when I add the water. I am adding some moss into these sections as well, again just to hide the glue and create a little bit more surface area for the glue to stick to. What I did want to do is just go through basically a little care guide, because these fish are super fun, they're super cute. You can put them in nano tanks, they don't need heaps of space, but it is good to know how to care for them correctly. So yeah, have a listen. Pygmy cories, or Corydora pygmaeus, is one of the smallest corydoras found, and they are found in Brazil. Most of the ones that we see now are tank bred though. They do come up to about 3 centimeters of max size. The boys, of course, stay a little bit thinner, and the girls do get a little more round. Now, these guys like to run in schools now. Minimum of 6 cories is what I would recommend. They like sort of the edges of riverbanks. So what I tried to do in this particular build was to give them like an edge all around. So not quite a riverbank, but sort of like my take on like an islandy, riverbanky sort of area. Now, they like temperatures of 22-26 Celsius. They like a pH range between 6 and 7.8. I have found that they do well with shrimp. Small tetras neons and harlequin rasboras are a good one as well. You can definitely do guppies too. If you're doing guppies though, just make sure that there's a lot of food, because the guppies will eat everything that they see. So you want to make sure you get some food down the bottom for them. Okay, I think it's time for water. So I've done the planting now. Let's fill this tank up. So the tank came out really good. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really, really lovely with the island in the middle. The fish seem happy, and the way that those guppies pop against the background, just amazing. I really like it. I don't know if the guppies will stay in there. We might end up moving them again, just because when I do get them up to breeding stage, I'm gonna want to collect eggs and not have to worry about the guppies eating them, because they will probably eat them. I have had a lot of luck with the stir-by cories, and they have guppies in there too, and they bred and I found eggs everywhere. And the guppies didn't seem to be that interested in them, but they do have a larger egg, so we'll see how we go. But the pygmies seem really, really happy. I've caught them a couple times sort of snuffling around in the open space. They also hide in the plants and behind the filter. The filter seems to be their favorite spot. Not that I built them a whole island to hide in, but the filter's way better. What do you do? All right. Oh my God, I'm so happy, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.